Claude Plugins are Anthropic's newest feature, and I went through 6 questions beginners actually ask, pulling from 12 sources that range from official docs to a dozen independent community write-ups. The biggest surprise, the feature Anthropic Markets with one-step install, still leaves you swapping out placeholder connectors for your own tools by hand. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what a plugin actually is, whether you need to code to use one, and the one thing worth doing with your account today. Here's the question that trips up most people first. According to official docs and confirmed by community consensus across multiple independent write-ups, plugins are not a new model capability. They're a packaging layer. What's inside a plugin, skills, MCP connectors, /commands, sub-agents, already existed before plugins showed up. What's actually new is the machinery around them, the plugin manifest, hooks, monitors, and marketplaces. So what does that mean for you? If you've already been using skills or MCP connectors, plugins don't hand you new powers. They hand you a box to put your existing powers in, so you can install and share them in one move instead of 5. My name is Brian, and I spend most of my week digging through AI products, benchmarks, APIs, and pricing pages to figure out where these tools actually differ. This is the fear that stops most non-developers from even trying. Per official docs, using a plugin needs 0 code. Open Customize, click Plugins, browse, install. Creating one is where it gets interesting. Community consensus confirms a no-code path exists too. The plugin create tool builds a plugin from Markdown and JSON, no programming required. The Claude code route is more technical. You're creating a directory with a plugin JSON and a skill.md file, but it's AI assisted through an 8-phase guided workflow that community sources clock at around 5 minutes. So the real answer is, using plugins is a click. Creating one doesn't require code either, unless you specifically want the Claude code path. People conflate these 4 terms constantly, and community consensus lands on a clean analogy for sorting them out. A skill is a recipe. An MCP server is the plumbing that brings tools into the kitchen. A sub-agent is a dedicated chef for one dish. A plugin is the cookbook with a stocked pantry. It bundles all of it into one package. Concretely, a plugin can include any mix of 5 building blocks: MCP servers, skills, agents, commands, and hooks. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. That means these things aren't competing for the same job. They compose. A plugin is just the container that ships them together instead of forcing you to set each one up separately. People conflate these 4 terms constantly, and community consensus lands on a clean analogy for sorting them out. Within Claude's own ecosystem, yes, official docs confirm plugins work in both cowork and code, and skills from a plugin show up in chat on web and desktop too. There's a nuance on connectors specifically. Community consensus says remote MCP connectors work everywhere: web, mobile, cowork, desktop, and code, but local MCP is limited to desktop and code only. Outside Claude, the answer changes. Anthropic doesn't officially support other AI tools. Community adapters exist because the format is built on open standards, like skill.md and MCP, but that's a workaround, not an official feature. Stick with me, because the last 5 tests are where this decision actually flips. Anthropic isn't charging you per plugin. Community consensus places its model at subscriptions plus API usage, with plugins working as a retention feature, 0 per plugin cost, 0 marketplace commission on the official Claude marketplace. If you're a plugin creator, the money comes from elsewhere. Agent Store, an open-source third-party marketplace, pays publishers 80% of sales in USDC through the X402 protocol. And enterprise partners, FactSet, S&P Global, MSCI, LegalZoom, DocuSign, PwC, are using plugins as distribution and lead generation into Cowork, not as a direct product sale. 3 different players, 3 different incentives, and none of them involve Anthropic taking a cut off your plugin. This is the one that matters most if you're about to install something expecting it to just work. Installation genuinely is automatic. One-step adds skills, MCP connectors, subagents, /commands, or hooks, and the official marketplace auto-installs on first launch. Anthropic also shipped 13 plus enterprise connectors, Google Workspace, DocuSign, Apollo. Here is where Claude Plugins clearly pulls ahead of the field. Now, here is where the second pick clearly pulls ahead. Pick the one whose single biggest strength matches the job in front of you today. One thing the docs never spell out will quietly cost you if you miss it. If this helped, the next breakdown on the channel goes even deeper.